Okay, let's start. Hands to the heart center, neck and spine erect. Sit comfortably with cross-legged or in Vajrasana, Swastikasana, Siddhasana, whatever makes you comfortable. And focus your energies. Let's dive inside, look inside, listen inside. Relax your shoulders, relax your thighs, relax your eyelids, relax the eyes, and let the tongue settle at the base of your mouth. And connect with your breath. Sarvepi sukhina santu. Sarve santu niramayaha. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kashyit dukhamapnuyat. Om sahana vavatu. Sahano bhunaktu. Sahaviryam karvavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's do Omkar with Ujjayi breathing. Exhale completely. And inhale through Ujjayi. One more time. Rub your palms. So what are we doing today? I haven't planned anything. So we'll just go how it comes. Okay, no GPS today directing us what take turns to make and stuff like that. So let's just start with. So what is Omkar, right? We always say this Om, and there are many scriptures who talk about the entire universe as it exists, in its infinitum, it has a certain hum to it, okay, and it buzzes with a certain frequency. It has this primordial sound that is anahat, So we call this the Anahat Chakra. So when I clap, that's the Ahat, and Anahat is the sound without clapping of two things. And Omkara is also called the Anahat Nad. And so the universe, I mean, I can, from physics standpoint, I can sort of contemplate on that, there is this hum, and there is that primordial sound, which is probably heard in the deepest states of meditation. And the rishis sort of discovered that and prescribed that to kind of align our body in sync with the entire universe out there. I don't know if we are out of sync, because we can't be out of sync, to be honest. But what happens is, when we sort of draw these psychological boundaries around us, right? We talked about that last time. And those boundaries are nothing but this, they're non-existent, but when we go to a cinema theater, right? What is existent is that screen out there. And then we project. We are the ones who project. We project something on that screen. And that screen suddenly becomes live and it consumes us, and we start crying, we start laughing, we start, all kinds of emotions come out because we are projecting it on that screen. So that psychological boundary around us basically makes us do that we exist in a certain way. That's the sense of existence. I always keep on talking about that. And the awareness that we talk about, I would say we should be more aware of this boundary that we create. And that boundary, some people call it ego, somebody call it something else, whatever name you want to, self-awareness, self-existence, and so if this is non-existent, that means the body is already kind of in sync, but we think, psychologically, we think that we are separate, and that creates this divide between, and it's all here. It's not physically happening, but the mind has direct influence on the body, and we stress the body out. Because the body, if you let it just be, when we sleep every day, it probably sinks back to the homeostasis, back to where the existence is. But the moment we get up, we have the sense of existence, and that separates instantly. So what is this hum? So when the body aligns, so when you do the Omkara, the body somehow aligns with its vibrations. There is this suspension of thought for a minute. I don't think you can say Omkar and do complex equations of trigonometry at the same time. Try doing it. So if you cannot do that, then what happens is your mind calms down, it drops its ego, and then we merge for at least a split second. So that's the whole intent. Anyway, so then there are so many different kinds of Omkaras, right? So one is we learned last time, which we say right from the navel, Om, we just at a high pitch sound. The other one we have learned before is the Lagu Lahari. So we create this kind of a cyclic movement of sound, which sort of happens when you ring the bell in the temple. And then there's something called the Brahmari pranayam that we do. Some people call it Brahmari Omkar. And what is Brahmari? So people say that it's the sound of the Brahmar, the Brahmari, which is the bee. But some people also talk about Brahmari. So Brahma is the entire universe, which is ever expanding. Einstein talks about the expanding universe. So that Brahma Ri has a certain sound. A sound of that Brahma is the Brahmari. Then it could be described as the sound of the bee. Okay, I'm taking a reverse journey where the word probably originates from. So Brahma is a Bija mantra. And that bija mantra, when you say it in a certain way, it creates that sort of a sound that could be potentially the hum. But when you're creating the Brahmari, let's try it, okay? Let's try it today. Let's take a deep breath. And Brahmari is also an index of how healthy your lungs are. So the more you can actually hold that Brahmari, you know. So when you're doing the Brahmari, focus on that hum that happens at the back of the actual physical sound that is happening by the ahat of your vocal cords. So when you're saying, focus on that hum. And if you cannot hear that hum, just close your ears and see if you can hear that hum, which will be very, very similar to the Omkara that you're doing. That's why people call this Brahmari Omkar. So let's try that. Okay, sit in Chin Mudra. Take a deep breath. Put your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And you can breathe in with Ujjayi. Did you feel that hum behind the sound of the Brahmari? From that vibration creates this a baseline hum that is always there. And that baseline hum is that sound of the Brahman, Brahmari. Okay. Having said that, I think we should do some exercise at least and not just talk. So let's get back to our routine. And today we'll do some holding positions. So it's not going to be super exerting. All right. So last time we did a lot of exertion, and let's just try to see if we can create a little bit more yin yoga today, if I can. Okay. So let's start that. So let's get up and warm up. We'll do some Surya Namaskar and then we'll come back to the holding of the positions more. Okay, so I hope you can see me, hear me. Let's start with our jogging, but before that, let's clasp our hands and stretch yourself up. See if we can touch that sky out there. Let's see how far we can stretch, stretch, stretch. And then rise on your toes. Keep your heels together. Rise on the toes. Keep the heels together. Rise, rise, rise. And look out. Look far ahead and see if you can balance yourself. And exhale and come back. So always stretch. The first thing you do early morning is you want to take a shower. Okay? And when you shower up in the morning, the body becomes a little bit loose already because of the cold water. So anyway, let's stretch one more time. And exhale. And this time we're going to do Urdhva Hastasana. So hands by the side and raise them up and rise on your toes. See if you can do that. Should be very, very simple. Like I said, today we're going to take it easy. We're going to test our minds more than anything else, not the body. Now, put your feet just about hip width apart. Clasp your hands and just put the index fingers out. Go up, connect with your biceps, and gently, just about a couple of inches, push your hips forward. Okay? And then go to your left side. And make sure you hold this. Make sure the biceps are connected with your earlobes. And breathe normally right here. So this can be a mentally challenging position because the mind typically will start fighting with you, will start complaining from inside. Whenever we are in a difficult situation in life, the mind complains. Whether it's too hot, if there is nothing to complain, it will complain about the weather, whether it's too hot or too cold. And it continues, the saga of the mind. The saga of the mind is to constantly need attention, create drama, create ruckus in life. Okay, let's go the other side. Push your hips just a couple of inches ahead and bend to the right side. And the drama that the mind creates, it's basically constantly wants the attention. And it wants to complain, it wants to oscillate between craving and aversion, raga and dvesha. Raga is the craving, dvesha is the aversion. It's averted to something, it's allergic to some situations. The blood pressure goes up, body starts heating up, smoke starts developing inside, and doesn't like certain situations, so that's the dvesha. And then it oscillates on the other side, and it starts loving something. Initially, yes, everything looks pleasant. You know how a bird goes from one branch to the other of the tree, thinks that the other branch is more stable. And then from that branch, it finds instability, the wind blows, the branch starts bouncing around, it can't find stability, it flies and sits on another branch thinking that the other branch, yeah, and that branch looks stable than on which we are. But the moment he sits on it, that's it. It shakes up the branch. But he doesn't realize that. And he thinks like, why is this branch shaking? And the previous branch that I was on is not shaking anymore. And it keeps on doing this all its life. That's what we are. We are consumed by the mind, consumed by this psychic phenomenon, the divine hypnosis. We are all in this state of hypnosis. All right, very good. And that divine hypnosis, you may call it Maya, you may call it Murcha, you may call it whatever word. Okay, so let's just do some jogging in place. Let's start jogging. See if you can get your heel to your butts. and then skip. Okay, come to Tadasana. And we just created a whirlwind. We just shocked this body. And the body is trying to cope up, trying to breathe heavily. The heart rate has gone up. And let's quickly go back to that circle center and see if we can sit there in Sukhasana. While the body and the mind are doing their thing, just sit there. It's like, I had a roommate who was a diver. He was a surfer too. When a really big wave comes at him, he can't handle it. Instead of riding that wave, he dives deep into the water and let that wave pass by. Sometimes he can hold the breath up to 3 minutes, 2 minutes. And after that wave is gone, he surfaces again and waits for the next one. So whenever we are in this situation, let's dive deep inside us. Let's go diving deep inside us and find this place where no wave is going to touch you. And observe what is happening from within, what's happening to the body, what's happening in the mind. Because our true existence is none of this, right? And we all sort of at some level believe that, but we also get these experiences about it from time to time. And even one such experience will ground us in that center and can be, all that load comes off. Anyway, all right, so I think we've come back to homeostasis. So let's do our Surya Namaskar. I'm going to pull back myself a little bit. And I'm going to face you guys today. So, a little bit more. Okay, there you go. Okay, so let's stand in the front of the mat, about 8 inches away. Relax your shoulders. Relax the elbows, the forearms. Come to the Namaskar Mudra, the Samasthiti. Samasthiti. It's an interesting word. Sama means balance. Sthiti. So we are in a complete state of mental balance, which means there is no raga and there is no dvesha. These are the two polarities the mind oscillates. So samasthiti is neither the mind is on the left side, neither on the right side. And we try to balance the body as well as the mind in this samasthiti right here. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihitam mukham Tattvam Pushan Aphavrunu Satya Dharmaya Drishte Om Ram Mitraya Namaha. Put your hands out, straighten them, and let's go here. Let's open up the chest, okay? Keep your hands together. You can clasp the hands and, put the index fingers against each other and connect with your biceps, the earlobes. And then gently push your hips forward. Push them towards, away from you in the front, so that you come to a beautiful curved body, arched body. And then let the head drop when you can't push that anymore. And look at your own fingers, own thumbs right here. Focus on the Vishuddhi chakra right there. Okay. And then breathe in and come up to the center and start bending forward. Hinge from the hips. And at some point, and hold your fingers tight, okay? The arms may want to separate out, but then hold them tight right there. And again, you're observing from that center. So just let the body succumb. So today we are going to use more gravity as we typically do, but I'm going to point out certain things. So here's the gravity kind of pulling your upper body down, down, down. And while you're maintaining the connection with your earlobes, and then separate your palms, and then put them by the side. Okay, so we are, again, here, we are focusing the energies from the throat chakra, slide down to Swadhisthana. Just 2 inches below your navel, along the spine. And we said the Vishuddhi had the indigo color. Here, when you're breathing in, try to breathe in through the Swadhisthana chakra, the orange color, the center of desires. And watch, see how your body keeps on still succumbing to the gravity. And you'll see that there's a beautiful stretch in your hamstrings, in your calf muscles. Everything is going to get stretched. Your back. And see if you can look straight ahead. The moment you do that, you lift your head and the back tries to straighten out. And see if you can do that. And then drop your head, look at your knees. And find yourself sinking a little deeper in here. So like I said, today's practice, I think we're going to focus more on the mind and its oscillations between the raga and the dvesha. So there are these 3 obstacles in the spiritual journey: raga, dvesha, and the ahankara. And these are the 3 things that create the maximum obstacles from taking that quantum leap into something that cannot be described. And we talked about that ego, the ahankara, is nothing but a psychological thing. You can't hold the ahankara in your fist. I can hold everything else. I can hold the body, but I cannot hold the ahankara. And I can actually feel it though. And why does it feel? What makes us feel that pain? That psychological pain. Okay, so put your left foot out and put your entire palms on the ground. Okay, I know you cannot really see my palms, but you know what to do. We do this every week. All right, so make sure the toe and the 2 middle fingers of both the hands are aligned. And with your hips, push them, just like we did it in the first position. We push the hips forward, right? Push those hips forwards. Push them. Keep pushing. And you will realize that there is more stretch in your hamstrings, in the groin area, in the quads. And keep the shin perpendicular. Very good. And then take your right foot back and come to the plank position. Okay. So we were talking about the mind. Now here, your attention is still at the Agnya Chakra. In the Ashwasanchalan, it was at the Agnya Chakra, which is the center of the eyebrows. So look between your hands or the front edge of the mat, or you may choose to look straight ahead. And then put your knees down, keep your hands where they are, and sink into Shashankasana. Wonderful. So bring your attention back to the Swadhisthana, the Manipur chakra area, right here. Breathe in and come up and go to Sashtan Namaskar. Make sure your elbows are pointing backwards or upwards. Either your chin or forehead is on the ground, chest, and two knees, and two hands, and the chin. So that makes all the 8 parts of the body. Very good. And breathe in and come up. And look up. Make sure your heels are touching. Your toes are curled. Now here, let's try something else, okay? Instead of curling the toes, point them backwards. See if you can get that nice Vajrasan kind of backward pointing toes. Soles of the feet are exposed to the sky. And it gives beautiful stretch. The knees are not touching. And curl the toes back and come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. And relax here. Adho Mukha Svanasana initially can be really, really taxing on the shoulders. You cannot really hold that. But over the period, I think if you keep on practicing, the shoulders will develop a lot of strength. That is what we really need. We need that in the shoulders to do other advanced inversion positions, right? Like last time we did the Shirshasana. And yesterday, Sushilji was showing some other inversions. Those all need tremendous endurance in the shoulders. So this is the way you develop it. You hold this position more and more, and you allow the shoulders to become stronger. Now, you can move your hands out as wide as your mat. Now, move your feet also as wide as your mat and see what happens. Immediately, you will feel that you've gone deeper into the position. Your heels will start touching down. You have come closer to the mat just by that one little thing. And then look at your own tummy. Very good. Very good. Now bring the feet back to where they were in the center. And exhale and put back your knees on the ground. Don't move your hands. And see if you can relax in Shashankasana. And breathe in and come up. And let's see if we can put our left foot in between the two hands. Now, we are in Ashwasanchalan. Ashwa is the horse. The way I look at it is Ashwasanchalan. That means it's like you're holding the reins of the horse and trying to control that. Okay, Sanchalan. You're trying to Get that you're riding the horse. So this is the front leg of the horse trying to leap out there. And that horse is the mind, the wild mind that keeps on oscillating between the raga and the dvesha. It's that wild horse that we are trying to tame. So look without any intent in the mind. Let's see if we can get that samasthiti right here. Let's see if we can get that awareness from the tip of the nose to that farthest toe at the back and expand that consciousness, that awareness. Expand it and look out. Look into the infinity, Ananta Samapatipyam. And surrender here to that infinity right here. And there is no action. Surrendering is not an action. Again, observation is not an action. Surrendering is basically you just drop all that fight. You just drop all that fight from within. Your mind is fighting to get out of this position, right? The mind says, no, I don't like this. It goes on the other side in the dvesha mode, in the aversion mode. And it says, I don't like this. I want to get out of here. And that is not samasthiti. So let's see if we can bring ourselves back into that samasthiti in that present moment. And we come to complete equanimity right here. And in that equanimity, we connect to the infinity. The more equanimity the mind comes into it, the time basically stops. Equanimity is nothing but the mind really stops these oscillations like the pendulum. And when the mind stops these oscillations, the time stops. And then you're instantly connected to that infinity. So this present moment, that very present moment is the moment of the entire universe. It's infinite. It creates this abyss between the two moments, the past and the present, and the mind cannot stay there. Okay, so breathe in and put your right foot next to the left foot. And join your palms. You will realize that you're a little better off here coming out of it than you were going into it. So join the palms and then breathe in and come up. Push your hips and exhale and come to samasthiti again. So what we try to do right now is basically the whole samasthiti, we try to carry it into the Surya Namaskar. So how can we remain tranquil? How can we remain? Tranquility is the other word for ananda. So ananda is really not happiness, okay? Ananda is a state above these two raga dvesha. Okay, the happiness and the sorrow. These are the two wings. But when you completely balance them, you take the flight. The bird is able to fly only with the balanced wings. Otherwise, it cannot fly. If you clip one wing out, even a little bit, it won't fly. It will go and spin in circles. So when you balance that, the tranquility automatically happens, the equanimity happens. And in that equanimity is the ananda, the state of samasthiti, which is a complete contentment. Okay. There you go. We come to samasthiti again. Om Hrim Ravaye Namaha. Slide your palms down. It's an engaged position, and move them out and bring them back. Connect with your earlobes, your biceps, and push your hips forward. And imagine indigo color. Breathe from that Vishuddhi chakra. And bend forward. And bend and bend and bend. Let it bend. Okay. You basically letting the gravity act on the front part of the body. So today we are going to practice gravity a little bit in the other postures. Okay. So we are back to Padhastasana. And take your right foot back. And we are back into Ashwasanchalan. We all have these smartphones that have cameras in it. And we turn on the camera and we see certain things in the screen. And that camera is really not recording anything. It is just trying to either focus or compose that picture. And the screen, anything that stays on that screen or is seen on that screen does not stick to that screen. The moment you move the camera, the screen changes. Similarly, right here, your retina is like that screen. It is just looking out there, not for something, but just looking. And we surrender in this moment. Watch that the body is trying to push the hips. Watch that the mind is giving instruction to the body to push the hips. And we look out without any intent like that camera. We are in complete attention mode. Not concentration, attention mode. Attention is a open focus state of mind, because we don't know where, from which side something is going to come at you. We're just completely attentive. Concentration is the quite opposite of attention. It is exclusive on something. It is not inclusive. But attention is completely inclusive of everything. Okay, so take your left foot back. And come to plank position. And put your knees down and relax. Breathe in and come up. Go to Sashtanga Namaskar. Make sure your tummy is not on the ground. This is a beautiful position. I should call this the Ashtavakrasana. The body, 8 parts of the body are touching, but to make that happen, the body has to bend in 8 other positions. Ashtavakrasana, let's call that. There you go. Look up into up dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and then go to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe in through the center, or breathe out through the center of the lips. That will calm the mind down, calm the body down, relax your heart. This can be a challenging pose. Now rise on your toes. See if you can raise your heels as high as possible. And Watch how the mind instructs the body to push your hands and get deeper. Watch, the mind is telling the body, push, push, while you are in that Siddhasana at the center. And then, without changing anything, ask the body to relax. Put your your heels down again. And you will notice that you've come a little bit closer to the mat, inch by inch, inch by inch. Someday we're going to touch that head down there. Now, spread your feet apart as wide as the mat. And you will notice that immediately your heels are touching. And spread the fingers. So here's what I do is I take my index fingers and I feel the edge of the mat. The rest of the 3 other fingers are outside of the mat on the floor. So with the index finger, align it to the mat's edge so that the index and the thumb are on the mat. The 3 other fingers are outside of the mat. The feet are parallel. And bring your feet back to where they were. And put your knees down. Curl your toes backwards. And then come to Shashangasana. Relax here. And breathe in and come up. Put the right foot up. Come back to Ashwasanchalan. Bring back what we just said. The present moment is the tranquil moment, is the moment of contentment, is the moment of ananda, is the moment of surrendering. That isness. Do we ever realize that we cannot really generate energy or destroy energy? We have been taught. But we can't even generate the matter or destroy the matter. We can only transfer it from one state to the other. If you boil water, it becomes steam and goes away. But it never really goes away. You can't even take that tiny little particle of the sand and destroy it. You crush it and it will become more finer particles and keep on going to all the way to the subatomic particles. But that isness about the matter never goes away. And that isness is what everybody's talking about, the Shashvat. The Shashvat means that cannot be destroyed. It's always there. And what is there? That isness is always there. Never goes away. Okay, let's take the left foot and put it in the front. And join your palms and push your hips forward and exhale and come down. Back to Samasthiti. Okay. So today we are going to practice some basic asanas, sitting postures, which we typically don't do. So let's sit down. We are going to avoid, we didn't exert ourselves too much, so let's not get into the Shavasana right now. So today we're going to practice one another asana that we will need belt for. Okay, so let's get your belt ready. We are going to go into Gomukhasana. All right, so here is what Gomukhasana, and I'm no expert, okay, in the postures. All right, so just bear with me, just ride along. Okay, we are all practicing people. We are just amateurs at this thing. So what Gomukhasana is basically is you fold your left leg at the back, and then you try to put the other leg on the front. See what happens? The knees are not stacked on top of each other, right? And even if I try to pull this, even then the mouth of the cow, go muk, the mouth of the cow, that's what it is. So when these knees stack up on each other, it looks like the mouth of the cow. Okay, so how do we stack them up? What do we do? So here's one creative idea I have. Okay, so come to kneeling position like this. Stand up on your knees. You know, this is the punishment we got in school all the time. Kneel down. So we're kneeling down. Okay. Then you take the left foot and turn it to the right. And then take the right foot and hit that back of the heel. Of the knee with the right foot and put that other right foot on the left side. Got it? So those are the two ears of the cow. The two ears of the cow, while this knee and the back of that knee, they are connected. Okay? Now, when we've done this, take your belt with you. All right? Take the belt so that it's handy. Take the block so that it's handy. Okay? And then see if you can just sit at the back. Keep on folding, keep on folding. And then put that block at the back. See, do you see the difference now? Suddenly my knees are stacked up on top of each other. These are the ears of the cow. And that looks like the mouth of the head of the cow. Go Mukh Asana. Now, now as you sit comfortably here, put your hands on the top. Some people call this Virasana also. It's like surrender the warrior and just keep your back straight. This is actually a very good position for doing meditation. So if you sit like this, watching TV, fantastic, you know, so that you train your glutes and train this side of the body to kind of stretch. Now, why do I need the belt? Now, the complete Gomukhasana is you to take your left hand back, put that belt and hold that. Hold the belt at the back and then stretch yourself up. The idea is to see if you can actually interlock your hands at the back. So if your shoulders are tight and all these muscles are tight, I can just barely touch my hands, but I cannot interlock them. So what I'm doing now is I'm holding the belt at the back. And with the right hand, I'm going to pull the left hand upward like this. Keep pulling so that the hand keeps on moving. And then sit straight. And again, you will find your mind in difficult situation again. Yeah, it feels good for some time, first 15, 20 seconds. But after that, the mind starts losing its equanimity. The mind will start going either to the left side, if you call that dvesha. So let's call the left side as dvesha, the right side as aversion, raga. So the moment the mind starts oscillating, you lose equanimity. You lose that present moment. The mind consumes the psyche, consumes that present moment. And if we try to surrender, let's say we just accept the discomfort, completely accept it from within. That acceptance is the surrendering in the moment. There is no other surrendering, okay? Whenever you go to even the temple and you surrender yourselves in front of the idol, that surrendering and this surrendering is no different. You're basically surrendering to that infinity, to that isness out there, isness within us, isness. So keep pulling with your right hand, and this can be an awkward position. For those who don't have the belt, you can just use your hand towel and stay here. So, like I said, today's exercise, today's session is all about mental endurance. Physically challenging, after some time, it becomes really, really discomforting. But you'll also realize that it feels good afterwards. You know, after that, all that stretching, now relax, leave that hand from the left side and bring that belt back. Okay? This is comfortable. At least for me, I'm able to sit here for at least 15 minutes. I don't mind that. So because of that block at the back, that's elevating me. All right. So slowly, slowly, as you practice, you can go to a shorter and shorter block. You can just take a pillow later on, or you can just take whatever feels comfortable. So reduce that gap. So now if I take the block out, I can sit down. There you go. So Gomukhasana. Let's do the other side. Okay. So we had the left foot on the top. Let's bring the right foot in the front. And the right foot goes to the left side. The left foot is at the back. And you turn it to the left side and see if you can kick and get these knees together and then sit back. Okay, now grab the block and put it under. There you go. Very good. And make sure both the sit bones are perfectly leveled. That's why we are using the block. If you just sit on the ground and if you're not comfortable, you'll be inclined on one side. And that's not the goal. The goal here today is how we can get that equanimity. Okay, so now we're going to take the right, put the belt out and grab that belt from the right hand. And with the left hand, keep pulling it, keep pulling it, keep pulling it. And there you go. This is the final pose of Gomukhasana. Knees are stacked on each other, two feet are pointing outwards. And your elbows are one pointing upward, one pointing downward. That's the actual position. So you can keep pulling and there you go. Very good. Okay, so get the belt out. Now, here's what I'm going to do now. Yesterday, I think, Sushilji, we did the Bharadwajasana on the wall. That's a fantastic way of doing it, using the wall if you don't have the props, and the wall is your friend, okay? But similarly, the ground is your friend as well. Now, how do you use the ground? The ground, I like it because, again, we're coming back to the gravity, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit in Bharadwajasana facing this way, okay? So here we go. I'm going to sit in Bharadwajasana like this, okay? Now, what you're going to do is take your left hand and put it on the ground, take your right hand and put it on the ground. Okay, I don't think I have enough space, so I'm going to move a little bit here. Okay, there you go. And then keep your body perpendicular to this foot, to this leg right here. Okay, keep the body perpendicular so that my shoulders are perfectly aligned like this. Then I'm going to twist. Okay, this is the version of Bharadwajasana that we tried on the wall yesterday. Now, what you're going to do is go down, spread your palms, spread, and put your entire chest on the ground. And you will realize there's a fantastic twist in your waist. Don't try to move your feet or your legs from where we started. So what is happening right now, your shoulders now are parallel to that thigh. We started perpendicular, we twisted them, And then we are resting on the ground and surrender right here. All the pain and discomfort that you have in the back, accept that in its entirety. Okay? Why I say entirety? Because sometimes we accept certain things, we don't accept certain things, and we create conflict in the mind. So completely surrender by accepting the fact of what is. And relax. Let the gravity do its job. Why I say gravity? Because gravity will take care of your body. The body is subjected to the gravity, so it takes away the effort. When you take away the efforter goes away. When the efforter goes away, the ego surrenders. The ego surrenders, you come to the present moment. When you come to the present moment, you are in complete equanimity. When you are in equanimity, the mind is content. And when the mind is content, there is bliss all over. So in every position, we can attain this blissful state. So gently come up. Does everybody see what I was doing? I don't know because I wasn't watching you people. So just give me thumbs up. Okay, good. All right. So let's do the right side now. So sit in Bharadwajasana. Keep this perpendicular to your mat. And the goal here is to put the hand at the back and twist. That's the goal, right? And keeping the body straight at the same time. Now, it is a difficult asana if you really, really want to practice in its original glory. But for somebody like me, I'm not that flexible. So what I do is I use the gravity to help me. Okay. So here we go. The leg is parallel, the thigh is parallel to the front edge of the mat. And then I'm going to just go down, 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 right here, okay? Don't try to go out there, right here, so that the leg can be still straight. Okay, here we go. Put your chin down and put your entire shoulder down. So try to see if both the shoulders are touching. The chest is completely flat on the ground. And it will happen. The gravity will do its job. Don't worry about it. Our job is to surrender in the moment. Surrender. And we just talked about the whole sequence of surrendering. The gravity is a natural force. Keep your chin on the ground. When you hand over everything to the gravity, the karta bhav inside dissolves. The entire yoga that I'm trying to teach here is to dissolve that karta. The karta bhav, let it go. That's one of the three obstacles in the spiritual journey. And surrender to the ground. Be one with it. Now you can also take the chin away and put your ear down and look to the right. And relax. Grab that earth. You know how those people who hug the trees, hug the Mother Earth right here. We're all born from this thing. The bodies are borrowed mass, the borrowed carbon, and then come up. There you go. Very good. And come to seating position. And you will feel really, really loose with your thing now. You know, now you can see if you can grab your right knee, left knee with the right hand and put the hand at the back along the spine. Okay. Put that hand down there with the wrist along the spine like this, and then twist. Now, if you change the hand and flip it, put the hand this way and twist, you'll see there's a subtle difference. Try it. There's a subtle difference there. Grab the knee and pull versus do this and push. Okay, very good. Come to the right side. Grab the right knee with this wrist. Put it along the spine at the back against your butts, all right? Sit bones. And then push with that palm up so that you don't lose the 90 degrees. And then with the left hand, pull yourself. Pull. See how far the body can twist. Very good. Now let the left hand be there. Take the right hand, grab the right knee. Grab the right knee. Okay. And then pull both of them inward. So when you pull, your body is going to pull itself towards the screen. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Now grab it from underneath. Grab it from underneath and keep pulling. Keep pulling until your elbows almost touch the ground. Pull. Keep pulling. Very good, and come up. Okay, so I think we're not really going to do anything more. We'll do some pranayam today. And we'll do the king of the pranayams today, okay? One of the most important ones. And that's called the Anulom Vilom, all right? And if you've done it, it's okay. We'll review some of that stuff that we've been doing. So now, take your left heel and put it in your perineum, tuck it in. Left heel. Okay, there you go. And exert some pressure on the perineum between your genitals and the anus. There's a little spot there. That spot is the grounding element, is the Muladhara chakra, the earth element. Okay, and then put your right on the top. There you go. So that the Muladhara, the Mula Bandha automatically happens when you push that heel at the perineum. Okay, there you go. Sit comfortably, keep your neck and spine erect. Hands on the knees, facing downward. And let's see if we can connect with your breath. Connect with the breath here. So we last time we did the 12 count breathing. I hope you've been practicing that. And we'll start noticing some subtle differences in your behavioral pattern. Breathing changes the behavioral pattern. People don't believe it. People think that somebody's behavior cannot be changed, but it's all the sanskara inside. That's all it is. It's the outwardly expression of those sanskaras. The body is the outwardly expression of the genes that our parents gave us, the ancestors. This is the outwardly expression of that. But the way the mind behaves is the outwardly expression of the sanskaras inside. So when you try to alter that, we are trying to create this deep operation of the mind in by doing yoga. It looks very simple, things like we are just doing stretching and this and that, but all these muscles, especially the psoas muscle that we talked about last time, it is the repository of your negative emotions, which is the longest muscle in your body from your hip all the way into your thigh. When you do these stretches, the Gomukhasana, the Padahastasana, the Ashwasanchalanasana, Ardha Chandra Namaskar, all of that, they're basically designed to stretch the psoas. When the psoas is stretched, it releases the negativity. Okay, so the behavioral pattern, the chitta vritti, that's what Patanjali says. That behavioral pattern, chitta vritti, nirodha. So that's what yoga does. Okay, so let's sit in Ardha Padmasana. Now let's come back to palms facing upward. Sit in Chin Mudra, close your eyes. Take your glasses off. Make sure your Mula Bandha is there. Exhale fully. We'll do one round of Kapalbhati. Exhale fully. We'll do 108 counts. Exhale fully. Hold the breath out. And take a deep breath. And very gently with Ujjayi exhalation, so like we said last time, that exhalation should be so slow and controlled. The success of pranayama is in the exhalation. How controlled we can release the air. So if you hold your glasses here, they should not fog. Okay, so if you hold your finger, you should not even feel it. If you hold a feather here, it should not vibrate. So that's how controlled the exhalation should be. Okay, so we already kind of did this one round of Kapalabhati. Now let's try doing Kapalabhati with the left nostril. So let's close the right and we'll do 100 rounds of that. 108 rounds, I mean. Okay, exhale fully. Breathe in half and start. Fully exhale. Hold the breath out. Breathe in and gently exhale through Jai. Now let's close the right nostril. I mean left nostril. There's 208 counts right here. So what we're doing is we are balancing the Ida and the Pingala. Okay, the Surya and the Chandra. The right side is the Surya Nadi. The left side is the Chandra Nadi. And they, Ida and the Pingala. Ida means Chandra. Pingala means Surya. Okay, so Hatha Yoga. Where does that name come from, right? So Ha and Tha, they are the two Bija mantras of the Ida and the Pingala. It's not Hatha Yoga, like people say, all right, I'm going to just Hat maar ke baith jayenge. Not that. Ha, Tha. So the Tha is the Ida. Ha. So you can remember it like this. Ha is the heat. Tha is the thanda. So Ida is the cooling breath. Right side is the heaty breath. So Ha and Tha. Okay? Sorry. So Hatha Yoga is basically all the science of the pranayama, the science of the Ida, Pingala, nadis that they cross on every psychic center along the spine. And then in between, there is the Sushumna Nadi inside the innermost circle. So if I draw three circles, one, two, and then a tiny circle in between, the outer one is the Vajra Nadi, Chitrini Nadi, Sushumna Nadi. That's the way the sheathing is inside. Now, can you operate somebody and look inside somebody's spine and find it? No, because these are meridians. These are energy channels. Okay, so the way that the science says, okay, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, written by Swatma Ram, it talks about how the Kundalini travels along the spine till the Sahasrara. So this is how, if we balance, again, we are coming back to the Samasthiti, the balance of the two sides. We balance the body, we balance the breath, we balance the Ida and the Pingala. That balance will create space for Sushumna to rise. I mean, the Kundalini to rise through the Sushumna. So that balance is so difficult, as they say it, is as though you're taking a pin and trying to balance the ball on top of the pin. That's how difficult that equanimity is, to be honest. Because the equanimity is a complete silence, complete balance of your mind cannot even just do even this. If you do this, the ball falls off. If you do that, the ball falls off. So it has to be so perfectly balanced, and that takes years of practice. And this is why the path of yoga is called the Pipilika Marga. Pipilika means the ant. The ant looks at the fruit on the tree and says, how can I reach there? I want that fruit. And so it starts climbing slowly, on the trunk of the tree, finds the branch, goes on the branch, gets onto the another branch, and another branch, and another branch. and finally gets onto the leaves, and then finally somehow makes it to that fruit. That takes tremendous amount of perseverance, tremendous amount of discipline, tremendous amount of control over what you eat, control over how much you sleep, control over everything, the desires, and that's the Pipilika Marga. Now, if you talk about the Kriya Yoga on the other side, the Kriyas are that we are doing right now, these are all the Kriyas. They are active ways of activating this energy. That is called the Vihangam Marga. Vihanga is the bird. So the bird looks at the fruit, takes the flight, and straight goes to the fruit. That's the Kriya Yoga Marga, which is what a lot of our Paramahansa Yogananda used to teach, that Kriya Yoga. Okay, his emphasis was on the Kriya Yoga. The Pipilika Marga is slow and steady, and it guarantees that you will reach there ultimately by holding the trunk, holding the branches. So there's always something to hold. When you make that flight, you can fall and hurt yourself. So you have to be very, very careful with what we do with these kriyas. And careful in the sense, because these are pneumatic tools. You know how you go and change the tire in the you see in the racing cars, they go to this machine and they completely open the tire, change it, and go. Those pneumatic tools are super, super powerful. And when we are doing these kriyas, we are actually using this pneumatic tool given to our body by the Mother Nature. Those pneumatic tools. So when you do Kapalbhati, we're playing with the air, that pneumatic tool that is inside us. So in the pranayama, we really, really want to be careful. Okay, don't really get all exuberant about it and exalted, and start going into weird positions. And because there have been cases where people have hurt themselves. But I'm not trying to scare. Okay, I'm just trying to say this is a path of vihanga. It's the path of the bird. So just be careful there. Okay, now having balanced the Ida and the Pingala, we are now going to go into Anulom Vilom. Okay, so what are we going to do now? Close the right. Exhale fully. Take a deep breath. Release with the right. Take a deep breath. Release on the left. Breathe in from left. Breathe out from the right. Breathe in from the right. Breathe out from the left. So now we mix the channels. Initially, we did both the channels. Then we did one channel. Then we did the right channel. Now we are mixing them. So it's called the Nadi shodhan. Nadi is the Ida and the Pingala nadis that we talk about. Now we are going to actually get into this area of holding the breath. Okay. And the reason I'm doing left hand, right hand instead of the Vishnu Mudra, there is a reason for that. Initially, what you want to do is you want to be able to remember which hand was up here. And this is a gross movement of the hands rather than this subtle movement. Sometimes we forget which one we breathed in from or which one we should be releasing the air from. So this can be confusing sometimes. So that's, I would say it's the intermediate to advanced stage. Let's just keep our hands on the side. Take the right hand up with this thumb, just close the right nostril. Breathe in. Release your belly. Put the right hand on the right knee. Get a nice chin lock right here. Release the belly. Make sure your Mula Bandha is there. Put your attention to the heart center. Come up. Close the left side and release. Very slowly release. You see what we did? Let me explain because I can't talk and do it at the same time. So we exhaled fully. So the lungs are completely empty. We close the right, breathe in from the left. Once we are full in all the 5 lobes are full, we put the hand down, put the chin lock, release the belly, and held it here for 10 counts. Then we came up, we closed the left because we breathed in from here. So now we're going to send it from the other side. So we close the left and then we breathe out from here very gently. Okay, so that's one round of Anulom Vilom. And this has a direct effect on your heart. It actually helps with cardiac problems. If you have any cholesterol, everything will go down. Your blood pressure immediately drops. I've done that. I go to CVS pharmacy right here and I put my hand in there and I see that my blood pressure is not normal. It is probably 130 or so because I walked into the thing. I'm not completely relaxed. And then I do this Anulom Vilom right there. And then suddenly my blood pressure comes to the normal. You can try that. Everybody can try this, okay? So let's try the other side now. Exhale fully. Close the left. Breathe in from right. Release your belly. Close the right. Very good. So I think with that, we should end the session today. It's already 8:32. Let's say the prayer. Get into Samasthiti, Pranam Mudra again. So today's focus was on balance, the mental balance, the balancing of the mind between the raga and the dvesha, the aversion, craving. Let's remember Shankaracharya. Say Omkars. Pratah smarami hridhi samsfuradatma tattvam Satchit sukham paramahansa gatim turiyam Yat swapna jagara sushuptamavaiti nityam Tad brahmanishkalamaham nacha bhuta sangha Pratir bhajami manasa vachasa agamyam Vacho vibhanti nikhila yadanu grahena Yanneti neti vachanair nigama vocham Standeva deva majamachyutamahurakryam Pratar namami tamasah paramarkavarnam Purnam sanatanapadam purushottamakhyam Yasmin nidam jagadasheshamasheshamurto Rajvam bhujangam iva pratibhasitam vai Rajvam bhujangam iva pratibhasitam vai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we started with the screen where we project our movies and we are affected by that. Similarly, the reality out there is neutral. The reality really doesn't have yay or nay. It is always neutral. But we see things as we want to see them by projecting. Rajuvam bhujangam iva pratibhasitam. It's only pratibhasit. It's not the real. The rope appears to be like a snake when we are in murcha. So we project that inner fear about the snake onto that rope. And we see that rope as a snake and we are scared. We are awestruck. We are like completely transfixed by that snake. That's what happens with us in life. You know, yesterday I was playing Monopoly with my family. It's a game within a game, and yet we get affected by how much money we make. Where do we invest that? Which center you want to buy? Which center we are strategizing things, which we are just projecting things constantly. So even a game, if we call the life as a game or a drama, like Shakespeare calls it, within that drama, we're playing another drama of Monopoly, and that Monopoly still gets us. Forget about the real life. So anyway, with that, have a wonderful week ahead of us, and we'll see you next Sunday. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Amit.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Amitji.
Yeah, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Amit. Very nice.
Thank you, Amitji. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.